Hey guys, Cream Crazy here. It's time for the weekly rant that you all expect. Hope you expect it, because you guys do subscribe to me after all. If you don't, click the subscribe button up there. Please, I love you guys for doing that. This is a little different from the usual rants I do, because I normally have a selected subject and I just go on about it, right? This time I have got a subject, but I was kind of thinking I'm running out of whole-bodied ideas to do a rant on. I've still got some in the pipeline, but I'm running out of full-blown ideas to go on about, because if you do these type of things for a long time, you're bound to run into that issue. So, I had an idea when I was on the train the other day, on the way to pick up this Mac, actually, about a week or two ago. I was thinking, what could I do to basically have a go at something? And I thought, 10 reasons. I list 10 things why I love, hate, or create an opinion on something. You know what? Good idea. I thought, this could be good. Get my opinion on something out there. Should be great. I've got one of these too. I've got a love and hate 10 reasons set up before WrestleMania. So, that should be a good one, shouldn't it? But then again, we're not going to talk about WrestleMania. This is ages away now. We've got this one. 10 reasons why I hate John Cena. It's a big topic that's everywhere in this wide web we call internets. It's on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. It's in the live audiences. The commentators debate it. Every single person can debate this because it's a wide topic area. Now, I will say this. I respect Cena. He's a great worker for the company. He is very charitable. He works a lot of charities. I respect all that. I respect him as a man, as a guy outside the company. He's probably a very likeable guy who I could probably be good friends with because we understand and love wrestling the same way. The only problem I really do have with him, though, is his wrestling character and what happens on the screen. Off the screen, I bet he's a fantastic guy. On the screen, however, I hate Cena. Now, people have to understand that I'm not just a Cena basher. There are legitimate reasons why I hate Cena. And I have to say, some people don't really get that across. They just say, oh, I hate Cena, he's doing this, he's doing that, blah, 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 without going into formulated opinion. So let's get on with this, because I just found out by recording this video 2 or 3 times now that, with it going wrong and making a huge amount of errors, that my record from webcam feature can actually go above 15 minutes for the first time ever! Nonetheless, let's go on with this then, shall we? Number 10, his constant change in merchandise. You do not know what I'm going on about, you have no clue. Because if you've watched and you've known wrestlers from over the years, they have a change in merchandise. They change their t-shirts every couple of years to monopolise their popularity and keep it there. You know, CM Punk's t-shirts have sold well. You know, Austin and Rock's t-shirts, while changed every couple of years, have sold well too. There is one difference between those guys and Cena, is that they get them out, what, 1 or 2 years. 1 year, then the next year. It's fine. We get to immerse ourselves in that great t-shirt and be done with it. The only problem with Cena is that he changes his t-shirt every financial quarter, usually every 3 to 6 months. Now, this is where I draw the line with this, because he had multicolored t-shirts for the past couple of years. It'd be purple, orange, black, red, blue. He changes it to most colours. And it's basically a rainbow for a child to have in their wardrobe. Which, if you're living in Texas, you could actually inadvertently promote gay pride without even realising it that way. And I never understood why he needed to change his t-shirt that much. Sure, parents want to buy their kids the clothes because they love it. And actually they do look good. I wouldn't buy one myself. Although I would actually buy his latest shirt. Because the Rise Above Hate shirt, what an idea. Plus, standing next to a hater, like he did at Vengeance, was awesome. It was a great piece of marketing and timing and positioning for that. But the one I just don't understand why he needs to change his merchandise so much. Sure, for monopolising something, you need to. But it's just, to me, it seems pointless to waste money on fabrics and making t-shirts when you can just keep a good one that sells. The black one, the red one, hell, even the orange and purple one. They sold decently, didn't they? Pick the one which had the best sales figures and keep it. You know what I mean? It would have been better, because although his current t-shirt is good, I like it. But I wouldn't say that the constant change of merchandise just doesn't seem right. Other guys wait a year for their t-shirts to change. Zack Ryder, though, I will say he's had about 2 t-shirt changes in the last year. But Cena's the biggest example of this. And I don't understand why he needs to change his t-shirt when everyone else keeps theirs. Doesn't make sense. Number 9. Long-winded entrances at WrestleMania that have no context. If you don't understand what I mean, think about it. Because every single WrestleMania entrance since 2006 has been awful, really. Almost all of them. Because they don't... Sure, they possibly could relate to the theme of the WrestleMania, but no, they don't. Now, think about it this way. 2002, the gangster car thing, which CM Punk inadvertently was part of. 2003, driving a car... No, 2023. There! Driving a car through the glass. 24, I don't know if he had one. I haven't actually watched that WrestleMania in its entirety. Someone tell me what that is in the comments section if you don't mind. 2005, the guys waving their hands in the "you can't see me" position, like Eminem did at the Video Music Awards or whatever a couple of years back. 26 was the armed troops marching around doing that fanfare, and then this year doing some things with the Soul Singers. Now, to me, I was watching them thinking, oh, come on, you're wasting precious time for a match with this. And, it's annoying when you have a pay-per-view which is 4 hours long, okay, and you're having time constraints. This is where I knuckle it down to, because Cena's things last forever. Undertaker's and Triple H's at WrestleMania 27 didn't last too long either. A small bit of music and then bam, out they come. And I think Undertaker's the only one who deserves a long-winded entrance because it adds to his character and makes him, actually in some cases, a bit terrifying to look at and watch. So, why give Cena long, elongated entrances? It's sure it adds to the spectacle. But you don't want to watch a spectacle, you want to watch wrestling. That's what I do. I don't like big entrances. I want, and sure, Undertaker's, like I said, the only one who can pull it off. Okay, unless Triple H is coming out to Motorhead, but that actually backs up the point I said earlier. Only Triple H and Undertaker could technically pull off a big entrance, and people wouldn't care. So, it's just, to me, it takes up so much valuable time, and they don't have any point. Sure, the armed military going around, it's Cena's military gimmick that he does every time he gets out there. What does it give to anything? What do the Soul Singers do to promote Cena's character? Nothing. Nothing at all. And that's what I'm getting at. There's no legitimate reason why these things should be there. And why he needs them is beyond me. He's the biggest guy in the company. You're trying to overinflate that. All Miz did was come out through these big letters which had awesome on them. And that's unfair if only he comes out to a small thing like that and then Cena comes out to this big thing like that. You make your champion at that time look fucking weak, didn't you? Number 8. Michael Cole changes his heel persona just for Cena. Now look back at the Nexus storyline for this. He was hating on everybody around this time. Cole was hating on every single face, whether it be Mysterio, whether it be Mysterio, Orton. He could hate on every single face except Cena. Now, if you're a heel play-by-play, that's a different hybrid. It's something we don't see a lot. Heel color commentators, on the other hand. Heyman, Taz, Bobby Heenan, Jesse the Body Ventura, Joey the King Lawler. These guys hated the good guys because they wanted to give us some contrast and sympathy. They wanted us to actually care about the bad guys a little bit and make us hate them even more. The only problem is, when you hate on a bad guy, on a good guy every single time, you effectively are doing the heel body. That's a good thing. But when you side with one good guy, that's pointless. It ruins the heel character you've set out for yourself. And to me, I don't get why that is even possible. Because you are hating on everybody. You love The Miz. You love R-Truth. You love Alberto Del Rio. You hate people like Triple H and people like that who are the good people. And you hate those guys. Why do you have specific love for Cena? In the Nexus storyline, you made it completely pointless. But whenever Cena was in a match, like, come on, Cena. Come on, Cena. And you did the same at Money in the Bank with Punk. Sure, he's technically the bad guy, but you're also saying, come on, Cena, you've got to win this. And I'm thinking, you're making Cena look bigger than everyone else, Cole. You're making the bad guys look so weak in comparison that you're just showing... Okay, you show bias for the bad guys, but that's what a heel commentator does. But as a play-by-play, you side with the good guys. You do not side with the bad guys, even if you're a heel. And I understand why you made the Nexus look completely weak in comparison by supporting Team WWE at SummerSlam. By supporting Cena when Barrett won at Hell in a Cell, albeit by a dirty finish, which I will come to later. And it, to me, just ruins the integrity of your heel character. It ruins the integrity of anything heel in the ring, because you deem it unfair. Although, I will give you your plaudits. At Vengeance, you loved it when Alberto Del Rio won against Cena. You loved it, which shows your character is improving a bit. You're not relying on going after cheering for Cena all the time. It's just a stupid thing how one commentator, the main commentator, who is a heel, will go and change his context of his persona just for one guy. I'm sure Jesse the Body Ventura or Bobby Heenan or whoever was on during the Andre the Giant Hulk Hogan match, who was heel commentating for that, would go for Andre. Wait, no, it was Jesse the Body Ventura, because obviously Bobby Heenan was managing him. So, you see my point. You have to be, if you're a heel guy, you have to go for the bad people. You can't just cheer for the one face because you believe it's right to stand up for a guy who has good morals. That's not how you do your job, Cole. Number 7, his finishes. Pretty simple, really. It's just over the shoulder fireman's carry for the FU, and the 5-knuckle shuffle is just a fist drop with theatrics. Where does that come in? It's just simple moves. His leg drop to the back of the guy's head is better. I'd love it if he did the fist drop from the top rope like Joe the King Lawler did, but then he'd be called a rip-off. Doing the FU from the top rope would be epic every time. Then you'd be guaranteed to finishing off a guy. Wouldn't it? You'd make sense to kill off a guy in the ring, and that'd be the best thing to do. But no, sure, when you did it years ago, Cena, you did it really quickly, and it looked like it actually fucking hurt, which I bet it did. But at the same time, it still doesn't lessen the fact that the impact of the move isn't as good. It makes people look considerably weak, getting pinned by that. It's like the Finger Poke of Doom, but the Finger Poke of Doom was far, far worse. You know what I mean? Number 6. Not staying out of the title picture for very long. Very simple. Loses a title, doesn't stay out of it, gets his rematch, and automatically wins it back. If he does stay out of the title picture, he's normally screwed out of it by a dirty finish. And what else? Oh yeah, he gets a title in a feud with someone else, like Big Show, like the Nexus, like Batista at SummerSlam 08. Nearly all the time buries the guy, comes back, wins a title again. Where does that happen? Any other time? Any other place? When? When does this happen with anyone else? Because that, to me, don't know why. Why does he have to stay in the title picture all the time? The great thing about the Attitude Era and the Ruthless Aggression Era that I grew up in was that you had a variety of a title picture. A champion had multiple contenders. You thought, okay, this guy's had his shot, now give it to this guy. You don't have that anymore. You don't have a title picture where you can put more people in it. You're not pushing mid-carders because you're pushing Cena. I blame that on the creative and Vince McMahon. You've got to put someone else in the title picture. You can't just give Cena the title picture, you know? It's one of those fatal flaws that the creative team have to understand is a fatal flaw. Because it's stale product. You can't just do that all the time. And it's one problem with Cena that you always have, that you always think, okay, fine, he's lost the title. He can finally go out of the title picture. And in the minute, he's going to be teaming with The Rock at Survivor Series against Miz and R-Truth. He's going to be out of that for a while, hopefully staying out of the title picture until after WrestleMania. That's okay, as long as he doesn't bury The Rock or whoever else he's facing. As long as he doesn't do that, I'm happy. He has to stay out of the title picture for at least a year for me to care. Because it's pointless when he's in the title picture 24/7, you know? Number 5. His reluctance to alter his character model for the interests of longevity and fan acceptance. Now, if you don't know what this means, take a look at these ideals. First, we have Stone Cold Steve Austin, who in the early 90s was a heel. Yeah, He then went into a face after the match with Bret Hart at WrestleMania 13, turned heel in 2001, didn't really work, but he still did it anyway. Triple H has done it many times too. And I can tell you now, he had so many heel to face changes in the space of 1997 to 2002 to 6. He was incredible at changing from face to heel all the time. Even Hulk Hogan did it. Went from the guy everyone loved to the guy everyone hated in the NWO. Took ages to do it, but at the same time, it kept his character fresh and kept him in the industry for longer. You know what I mean? Even Sting did the same, changing from the Surfer gimmick to the Scorpion. And you see, this is where Cena's character lacks. He does not do this. His character's been the same since 2005 to now. That's 7 years. Sure, from 2002, 2005, he was heel to begin with. Transitioned to a face in 2004 when he won the US title, really. Well, it started at Survivor Series 03 when he was part of Team Angle. But he needs now to change to a heel, alter his character, because we're all getting sick of it. We're all getting sick of this. Stand by your morals. Do what you think. Never give up. Do what you can and what you think is right. It's almost what Hulk Hogan did, and he took forever to change. From 84 to 96, he was the same guy. For 12 years, same guy. And this is where we've got to look at Cena's character and think, we're getting sick of it. It's getting stale. The creatives somehow don't see this. And to keep you on the forefront of our minds, you need to change your character. Screw Rock out of the tag team match, which is what I predict will happen. Do something different, and it will make us care. Because I don't care about your matches. Unless, well, you lose like you did at Money in the Bank. I was still worried about that right up until the end of it. Sorry. And it's annoying that you aren't willing to change. I know you're a company stuck-up Cena who will do anything for VKM. But at the same time, you need to understand there's a reason why we chant you suck all the time. It's because you don't change. You don't change. Even after hearing people insult you, you just throw it back at them, sure. That's something which a face could possibly do. But you got to understand, your character's thinking, I'm sick of these people going at me, saying I'm not a good wrestler. I'm going to prove it to them and turn heel to show it. Make someone else a face of the company. Let CM Punk step up. Let someone else go to the top as a face. Don't just keep yourself in there. Triple H alternated. And look what he's done. He's become one of the best legends in the industry. Taker even did it. Even during his American Badass gimmick, which was universally popular, he shoved JR's face into McMahon's ass and became a glorious heel. And this is the thing you need to do. You've got to change your character. Because if you don't, we are going to practically riot the next time you win a title at WrestleMania. Or whenever it is. We're going to say, oh God, same old crap again. You're the new age Hulk Hogan defined by this. But honestly, you can only be a true Hulk Hogan copycat if you change your character, which is something that will happen eventually, I bet. But I hope it happens sooner rather than later. Number 4, his fans. If you do not understand what I'm going on about, go to a live show. Go to a TV taping. Do something. Because, okay, on the internet, you can hate on Cena as much as you want. Nobody will be there to argue. Unless a Cena fan does come on your video or your topic and says, oh, why do you hate Cena? Why do you hate Cena so much? He's the best. They will say that. Unless you've heard it in your ear hole, in person, you have absolutely no idea how crap that is. There is a legitimate reason why. Because each wrestling fan has an analytical process where they can say why they like something, but they will also say what problems they have even with the thing they like. It's like how you can mention with CM Punk, for example. I feel sometimes he can oversell. I feel sometimes he even can't sell a move sometimes. Like I saw the TLC match with Jeff Hardy with my mate just now. He went through a table, didn't even really sell his back too much. He sometimes is a bit pretentious on the mic, but then again, that's just how his heel character was. And you see, I can look at even Punk and go, yeah, I don't like some aspects. I don't even like some aspects of The Undertaker. And I will still praise him all the while. Cena fans don't. I was next to a Cena fan at the London taping of Raw in 2010, last year. Cena fan next to me, I told him why I don't like Cena. Because he doesn't sell things in the ring. His moveset is very poor. He doesn't change his character a lot. I said all the things I've said already tonight. And this kid goes at me saying, you shouldn't hate Cena. He's the face of the company. As the face of the company, you should enjoy him. He's the best guy ever. And just kept going on at me for hours. And because I don't understand when and how, even if they like something, they can find fault with what they like and analytically put it forward. That's the great thing about a wrestling fan. You can say why you love something and then also why you didn't like it at the same time. That's how I rate wrestling matches. I hate wrestling matches in some aspect because I can look at what I like, but then criticise it and mark it down because of what brought the match down in my eyes. Cena fans, based on what I know, don't do that. And it does my head in. Because this is you can't call yourself a wrestling fan if you're a Cena fan unless you learn how to analytically have both sides of an argument on something. If you love something, you have to find something you don't like about it anyway. With your favourite band. I can say for Rush, for example, one of my favourite bands. They have great songs. They're one of the best musical great bands I've ever listened to. But I find their albums as a complete listening entity most of the time have a lot of flaws. They don't sync together well. Some songs are worse than others. The same thing can apply to wrestling. You've got to look at why you love Cena. You know why you love Cena. But you've got to understand why there are bits about him you don't like. You can't universally like something. Sure, some aspects you can universally like something, which is very rare. There is something very rare to universally like something. That's nearly impossible. I don't know anyone who can universally like a wrestler and not find something to hate. Oh yeah, my friend loves Jeff Hardy, and he doesn't even understandably tell me why he... an aspect of Hardy he doesn't like. Same with him saying, oh, the Attitude Era is best because it had blood and violence in wrestling. Without that, wrestling is boring. He doesn't even actually explain to me why that's the case. And the Cena fans have to do the same. Otherwise, it just doesn't bode an argument well with you. That you always are so stuck up that you can't commit to a proper debate and argument about something. You can't accept when something is put in your face to be practical fact. You can't just stick up and go, okay, fine, I agree with you. Because you're so big-headed as small kids who don't know better, or as adults who are supporting small kids who don't know better either. Look at it my way and you'll see it's better to have a divided opinion of love or hate on something even if you love it. It's better to do it that way. Number 3. He always loses due to a dirty finish. Is this something that's very definable? Yes. He loses a dirty finish most matches. If he does lose clean, I will bow down to the television. Worship the creative guy who put that down. Because when did he last lose it? A 2009 match against Triple H. I think it was on Raw or SmackDown. That was the last time he lost clean. In most matches he loses dirty. I don't understand why. If he's being pummeled in a match, you want to believe that this guy is being pummeled. He doesn't need to have a guy. He doesn't need to have a guy who helps the heel win. This is one thing I want to happen. I want a heel to pin this guy. I want someone to pin Cena clean with no outside interference, no distractions. I want somebody to do it. And I actually bet the guy who does it will be the next face of the company. Sure, Rock could do it, but I bet that's going to end with some kind of dirty finish. Because it makes the guy Cena is against look weak. You want a guy who is fighting Cena to be as strong as him. You don't want to make them seem weak and cowardly by having someone coming out and attacking him behind his back or distracting him so a guy could pick up a pinfall. One of the main problems I had with the Punk Cena match at Money in the Bank. It was a great match, but that was one of the reasons I didn't rate it fully a 5-star, because the finish, even though it was great and something I didn't expect, it was not beneficial for Punk. So you look at it that way, you think, okay, Cena has to lose clean sometime. I thought he was going to lose clean I thought he was going to lose clean in Hell in a Cell. I thought he was going to lose clean at Vengeance. I thought he was going to lose clean at WrestleMania. Yeah, he didn't, did he? Because of a rushed time, it didn't work, did it? And you know what? Honest opinion, he has to at some point lose clean. Because it's better for everybody if he does. He doesn't want... Because best wrestlers put people over by losing clean. Triple H, Punk, hell, even Orton did it. Orton put over Mark Henry. Which, for a guy like me who doesn't like Orton for most of the same reasons I don't like Cena, is great for him. It made me respect Orton that he put someone over because it was the right thing to do. Cena doesn't do it. Losing to a dirty finish. Number 2. Turned the WWE Championship into a mockery of its former self. Don't know what I'm on about? Look at the Undisputed title belt from 2002 to 2005. One of the greatest championship belts in history. It is one of the single most beautiful things I've ever seen on a wrestling broadcast. It was replaced by the toy. Now, I've got the toy version of the spinner belt in a box down there. Because when it first came out, I thought, okay, looks cool, looks a bit different. But over the years, I've grown a lot more insider, a lot more cynical, a lot more critical about the wrestling industry. I look at that and think that's just a merchandising monopoly ploy for the kids. And it lost its appeal years ago. I always thought when Punk won, he would come back with the original Undisputed belt, or come back with a newly designed belt. I thought that. I thought when Del Rio won, he'd, as a Mexican wrestler, as a face of pure wrestling, he'd say, look, I don't like this. I'm going to take a new belt and parade myself as champion. I thought he was going to do that, you know? But no. I don't understand why they had to keep that belt. It outlasted... I'm trying to think now. The Attitude Era belt that everyone goes mental over, apart from me, was around from 98 to 2002. Well, 2001 as a unitary belt, 2002 as well. 88, 9, 2000. That's 5 years, okay? The Undisputed belt went from, what now? 2002, 3, 4, 5, and it was retired. That's 4 years. And then this one has been the same for how long? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 7 years. Okay, since Cena won the title. Same thing applied there. But the Winged Eagle belt, which many believe is the greatest WWE Championship belt, lasted from around 84 until, 98. That is about 14 years. That is 14 years. If the spinner belt lasts that long, people are going to get tired of it. I think, on Cena it looked okay. On people like Triple H, Punk, Orton, people like that, it doesn't look good. And it's a mock. It turned the title into a meaningless prop. Sure, David Arquette winning the WCW title turned that into a prop. The same thing applies here based on its look alone. This is where you've got to understand that this title needs to be binned. I wanted Punk to just chuck it in the trash, come back with something new, and make us all rejoice. That didn't even happen either. Honestly, some people love the belt, no problem. But this? Nah, I can't, I don't like it. Just get rid of it and I'll actually be happy. Like I said, aesthetically, get rid of the Raw theme tune, get rid of the SmackDown theme tune, get rid of the title belt. Make them better for everyone. That's all if that was changed, I'd be a lot more happy about wrestling than I am right now. And finally, the big point. The same point that Randy Orton can't get right. Number 1, no selling the effects of a match when they end up winning. Now, if you don't understand where this came from, let me get this example in your head from Capital Punishment. R-Truth beat him up for the whole match. And this is no thing. He beat him up for the entire match. Finishing move, move after move, strike, grapple, everything. And then Kid throws a water bottle at him. You think, okay, he's going to run back into the ring a little bit disorientated. And then Cena can probably get a roll-up or something, make it much more believable. No, he just gets out of the ring, throws R-Truth back in there, hits the FU, and then and then gets 1, 2, 3 and parades around the ring like he hasn't even been touched, hasn't even been punched, hasn't even been hit by a move. And it embodies the superhero character. It is absolute bullshit, because a guy like me who believes in in-ring psychology wants to see a guy who's been through a match to sell the effect of that match. So he's been through the fact is the ring canvas is hard. It's not soft like a trampoline. It is very hard, very hurts you to hit, you know? And Cena, after being hit by moves repeatedly, you want to see him sell the effect of that match. But the fact he doesn't is an absolute mockery to wrestling itself. Because even Austin and Rock, as faces of the company, sold their matches. And to me, the fundamental art of wrestling, you gotta sell it. Orton inside Hell in a Cell, even after being thrown into the steel cell wall, just rolled back into the ring without selling it. After Hell in a Cell last year, he was beaten to shit by Sheamus. He then got out of the ring and just went, "Hey, I'm champion," on top of the thing. That's what Brock Lesnar did, but at least he was stumbling around with holding his head a bit to show he's actually done something, but been through war. This is the one problem I have with Cena over everything else. When you don't sell it, you are not convincing me you've had a good match. He did that against Punk at Money in the Bank. Made me respect him hugely. Other times, he doesn't. And that annoys me to no end. And you know what? This is where I draw the line. If Cena just does this, if he manages to win a match through and selling it to us with brutal heart and passion to want to win, and he ends up practically crawling up the ropes after a match has ended, the embodiment, that'll be great. The embodiment of the opposite was at Vengeance. Last Man Standing. He is beaten up by two guys, Miz and R-Truth, and then hit in the face with a title belt by Alberto Del Rio. Del Rio uses the barricade and one of the fans to get up. Cena gets up just at 9 after all that. What the hell are you on? That is an embodiment of why I do not like that. And if they don't change it, I will hate Cena forever. That's why it's my number one thing, because it is the embodiment of why I hate Cena so much. The superhero gimmick. Because if he didn't have that, I'd probably like the guy a hell of a lot more than I do. And guys, I hope you have enjoyed me going on at Cena for nearly over half an hour. Because it was worthy of me doing so. That's the end of my rant, guys. I will be with you, hopefully, for an In the News next week. I hope I can get some news items for that. Next rant will be, has Survivor Series outstayed its welcome? Definitely, that was a bit of an argument last year, wasn't it, when it was nearly scrapped? Anyway, you guys like what you've heard from me? You want to see more videos? I've already said it once today. Click that subscribe button up there. I'm nearly close to 100. It will mean a lot to me if you guys click that thing. And also, Q&A moderator is up. Up until what? November 26th? Click on my name link up there. Find the moderator under the video viewer. You'll be able to put your questions through, and you'll be in a video. Way! And also, guys, you want to comment on anything I've said about John Cena? I know a lot of you are opinionated about John Cena, why you love and or hate him. So put your comments in the comments section, if you please. I've been Cream Crazy. You've been people watching. I will see you next week. This has been Wrestling Rant. Hope you enjoy your week. Cheers.